All right, I wanted to do a quick video to talk about why you have to really be careful about what you watch online. And I got one quick video, and then I want to talk about it for a bit. When I think about my time before coming here, my image of Japan was mainly based on what anime, some crazy movies, or some stories or things like that that I heard about Japan. Japanese people do this. Did you hear about the vending machines, in Japan? Things like that. And coming here after a while, you kind of realize that a lot of that information is false, not true, or slanted, because generally speaking, the most sensational parts about life in Japan are the parts that kind of get picked up and focused on. But just like when I'm discussing things related to America, I have to explain and fix stereotypes and images that people have. Like, does everyone have a gun? Is everyone unhealthy? Do people kill each other all the time? Are your houses all huge? Those kind of things. Just because like perception here perception is slanted based on the most sensational parts of everyday life. Some things might exist, but it might be very niche. There's quite a few things, and but nowadays we have something else that people have to deal with. We have to deal with AI related content, and it's something that I think YouTube is specifically is trying to deal with. I heard like in the pipelines of limiting or putting AI related content into a separate category, which I'm very much a fan of, especially with content related to Japan. And we're going to see in a minute why. So let's take a look at this video, and you'll kind of understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
In Japan, there are many women who roam around the city carrying a box attached to them. They invite people to touch whatever is inside the box. Interestingly, anyone who touches the contents never reveals what's actually inside. They only leave with a shocked reaction. Can you guess what's inside the box?
This doesn't make any sense at all. Like, I've never seen a woman walking around with a box. Like, maybe you might have seen it in like an adult oriented movie or something like that, but that's not a regular thing at all. And it's just for some stunt or something like that. There's probably some food or like, an octopus in the box or something like that. It might even be for Halloween. You don't know, right? But I don't think it's what you think it is, and it gives kind of like a sensationalized image of Japan. Whoever made this, they did it for clicks, of course, because that video went viral. But they used some kind of AI voice related technology to add a spin on it that really gives the wrong impression of everyday life in Japan, that Japanese people are so crazy and ooh, this everyone's so perverted and you can feel up girls everywhere in Tokyo. And that's just not the case, right? Like me personally, when I came here, I thought like everyone was like I'm not saying like I did this stuff, but like everyone was like a chikan, and oh, that was kind of a normal thing, and wow, Japan's so perverted, and everything, the technology is so futuristic, and blah 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 blah, all these kind of things that I had in my head, preconceived notions. Japanese girls are all so kawaii and all these kind of things. But that's not the case at all. I'm not yeah, there are a bunch of cute girls here, but you kind of have to get you can't basically nowadays the amount of information about Japan, and you have to kind of take everything with a grain of salt. I encourage you, even take what I say with a grain of salt, because my opinion about Japan is based on my experiences here, and it might be different than your experiences here. So any person who's telling you, something, especially a small tidbit, like I would encourage you to really go deeper into their resume as far as like who they are as people, not really like how interesting what they're telling you is, because there's probably more than likely an agenda behind what they're saying. I'm just saying, like, hey, there's an agenda behind what I'm saying. Like, I'll tell you my agenda. My agenda is to give you guys as much value as I can, um, by putting out content that's helpful for you to live and enjoy your time in Japan for a little time or a long time. And then once I have a large enough audience, then of course I'll provide that content mainly free and some paid through books and stuff like that. And then I'll take that audience and introduce it to Japanese businesses and services by recommending for you guys stuff that I think is cool, vetting stuff for you guys to them, and then get some cash from them. That's really my master plan, my genius strategy, right? I'm not trying to like. That's why I say I'm not really doing a Patreon, or not knocking anyone who's doing that, or I'm not trying to do like memberships or stuff like that. I think personally, like to help me get my feet off the ground, like one, free content and some of the revenue from YouTube passively I can get. Next level of that, will be, through some books, and whoever wants to buy them can buy them. And then the next level beyond that, once I have a large enough audience, will the majority will come from the Japanese side. It will not come from you guys. But I think, a lot of the information, there was some information that I was watching today. I was thinking about whether I should, call these guys out before this guy particularly out. But because I saw some of his information that went kind of viral, and I was talking to, my mother-in-law about him. She's like, don't even do it. Like, she's like, don't even get involved in that. I was like, fine, you know what, you're right. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever you're listening to, consuming about Japan, yes, it's entertaining. Yes, it might be, fun or interesting and things like that. But it might not only be AI generated, but it really does depend on the person that you're, getting the information from. How long have they been in Japan? What do they do here in Japan? What social circles do they run in? Just someone saying, I've lived in Tokyo for blah 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 amount of years and I know everything. You know, no. Like, I've come across plenty of people here who say the same thing. Like, anyone who tells you, like, do you know how long I've been in Japan? Like, they I'm not gonna say what I want to say, right? But I've had several conversations with people like who's someone, like, I've been here for 5 years. I've been here for 15 years. Like, so what? Like, so what? Like, if you're not really progressing or doing anything, beyond superficial stuff, or staying in the same limited box while you're here, what does that mean? What does that matter? Right. And I'm kind of indirectly referring to these people that I won't call out, but, just because, like, I'm not trying to get it become like the YouTube basher kind of guy, but, and so people could bash me. One person does try to bash me like, in the comments, but that's a conversation for a whole another day. My point is, like, judge for yourself. Pick up the information that you want, but please be skeptical of a lot of that information, because stuff like what I just showed you before is out there, and even if it's not AI generated, it can be slanted based on the views of that person, and that kind of pisses me off, because that affects my life. I live here and I'm planning on living here forever. I have kids here who will grow up here, and may live here forever. They might go to another country, but they might. But, if you come up here with a slanted view and do something that, impacts their lives here, that's not good for me. Okay, and that's not good for me, and it makes my life more difficult, and it will make their lives more difficult. And the thought of that is kind of starting to piss me off, like, even right now. So just don't do it. Okay, that's my long story short. Don't do it. Judge for yourself, vet for yourself. I'm a kind of a little bit of a dork and a maniac about that stuff. So if I hear information from someone, I want to know, who are they? What have they been doing here? What is their channel like? What is their content like? What were their lives like before that? What kind of job do they have? What kind of stuff do they? I'm listening for all those little cues. Like, are you really about that life that you're talking about? Are you really, like, exploring things that you beyond this one little topic that you think, people want to hear about? And if you're not doing that, then for me, you're a loser. For me, like, I'm not saying you have to be, like, some people might think I'm a loser, right? Like, oh, you're just an English teacher in your 40s and you make yourself on YouTube. That's fine. Like, I have my own journey and my own, path that I've been taking, but I know where I'm going. And just like nightlife, chicks, is not all there is to life here at all. And please keep that in mind before I start getting all pissed off and heated up. I'm just gonna end this video here. Thanks for listening. Holla at you soon. Peace.